October 2nd, 2024, we have a new beginnings, ring of fire, solar eclipse in relationship-focused Libra. This is a south node eclipse, so something is ending. We are completing a karmic cycle, and we will be especially emotionally sensitive, but at the same time, we are ready to blast off. We are ready to reach forward into the next chapter of our lives, or at least the next level of fulfillment for you, my friend. And specifically, we are ready for more balance and harmony in love, in money, in beauty, and in relationships of all kinds. This is the very last eclipse in Libra, so we are at the end of a learning curve. This could feel like a graduation moment for you. Something is ending so that we can create space for a new vision. And wherever this ending and new beginning is happening for you in your natal chart, we will not have another eclipse here again in Libra with the South Node in Libra and the North Node in Aries until 2042. So in this video, my beautiful friend, I'm going to share with you who will most feel this solar eclipse in Libra. What are the themes and the planetary aspects that are going on? How are the planets talking to each other? Because this is very important in terms of the story that is playing out, and how can we best work with these energies with the most ease and grace. And then in part 2 of the video, I will be doing readings for all 12 signs based on your rising sign and pulling an oracle card for each of the 12 signs as well. Be sure you watch part 1 of the video so you get a sense of how you can finesse the energies of this eclipse. We have both supportive and challenging aspects to this eclipse, and I will be sharing all of that with you. But before we dive deeper, I want to say hello if you are new to the channel. Welcome. I am so glad that you have found us. This is a like-minded community. I love empowering you through the astrology. If you want to find your tribe and you love to use astrology to know yourself better and to feel more empowered in your life, be sure to tap that subscribe button right now and the notification bell as well so you don't miss a video. And welcome back to those of you who've been watching my videos. Every Sunday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, we gather in the chat when my videos generally premiere, and you are all warmly invited to join us. Happy Sunday to my Sunday chat friends. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Betsy. I am a psychic astrologer as well as an intuitive life coach and the author of the book, The Magic of Saying Yes, Answering Your Heart's True Calling. This is a North Node in Aries kind of book, helping you to connect to what is truly calling you, but also to help you partner with your soul so you don't feel like you're swimming out in the ocean trying to figure it out on your own. I do astrology consultations. At the end of this video, I will tell you more about my astrology readings as well as my coaching, and I have a free gift for you, so stay tuned to the end and I'll tell you how you can get that. If you want to receive my inspirational astrology updates, the astrology of the week between videos, go to my website, sign up for those free updates, and you will get that free gift as an instant download at the same time. Now, eclipses are game changers and sometimes life-changing. All eclipses catalyze endings and/or a new beginning. This eclipse is doing both. How do you know if a specific eclipse is going to be particularly significant in your life? If you will look back later and say, that was life-changing for me, this is when this or that event happened, when I met this person, when this job ended, when I started this business, and so forth. How do you know? You will know if it activates planets or points in your natal astrology chart, which I'm going to share with you as we get into this video. We just had September 17th and 18th, depending on your time zone, the lunar eclipse in Pisces. For many of you, it was quite intense. I certainly felt it. Having moved through the lunar eclipse, we are now in the in-between eclipses period where we say that the veil is thin. We are extra sensitive. Our spidey senses are very attuned, our intuitive guidance. You may notice this, my friend. I've definitely noticed this, that I ask Spirit a question and the answer comes just like that. It just feels very accelerated. And another way of thinking of this period of in-between eclipses is that we are more open to miracles. It's the zone of anything is possible if we are open to that, if that's our intention, if our vibration is set to that expectation. Even if this solar eclipse in Libra does not make any close aspects to the planets or points in your natal astrology chart, we're all going to still feel this in the collective because that's what eclipses do. They shift timelines, they shift global timelines, and they are a time when we can opt in or opt out to moving into a new level of consciousness, aka a new timeline, on a personal level as well. So because eclipses are portals, they are quite electrical. This eclipse in Libra is air energy, so we may feel this even more in our nervous systems. This means you could feel those ascension symptoms of, I feel out of sorts, I'm extra tired, I don't feel like myself, I feel like I'm between worlds, or I'm more anxious than usual. You could feel more overwhelmed. It's definitely a time that we need extreme self-care. And because eclipses often bring unexpected events, they can be really humbling. These are times when we wake up or we reawaken to the fact that we have very little control over our lives. And one or more aspects of our lives may be moved around in ways that we didn't plan on. So allowing ourselves to surrender, to ride the wave, so to speak, knowing that our souls are in control, our higher self, the universe, your creator, however you see it, has a plan for you. And that gets played out during eclipse season. Now, this is an annular solar eclipse, also known as a ring of fire eclipse. And this means that the moon comes between the earth and the sun. So the moon moves in front of the sun. And during this eclipse, it will block 93% of the sun. So that's where we'll see the ring of fire, the outline of the sun, and the rest will be blocked from view. The beautiful thing about solar eclipses is that this can be when really happy things happen, when we get blessings, unexpected happy miracles, as I like to call them. This can happen during a solar eclipse. Not always, though. Sometimes it's more of an illumination. A truth comes to light, and as a result of that truth, we make a decision about what we want, and then we go after that. Libra is an initiator. It is a cardinal sign. It is in the element of air. That is communication. That's back and forth. In Libra energy, we want mutually reciprocal relationships. They can be personal or professional. It is not just agreements where we're signing on the dotted line. It's not just marriages. It's not just business partners. It's all of that, but it can also be a best friend or an adult child or coworkers. The key is we want balance. We want harmony. We want that lovely flow. If I had one word to describe Libra energy at its highest octave, I would say lovely, because Libra energy is also connected to beauty. A lot of Libras are designers or artists. It's a highly creative energy. In Libra energy, we want to enjoy each other. Even if we don't agree, we want it to be an amicable disagreement. There's a diplomacy to this energy. We look for win-win solutions. Everybody wins, everybody's happy, everyone gets to feel good about being together. Now, Libra is also the scales. It's the justice system. So during this eclipse, many of us are seeking a sense of being restored to wholeness, where perhaps something in your past was lost, where you feel like you weren't treated fairly, where you weren't given the treatment that you truly deserved. On a subconscious level, a lot of us are looking to receive karmic justice. And this could very well be part of your eclipse experience. Why do I say this? Because during this eclipse, the sun and the moon are together and they are conjunct the south node of fate, also known as karma. So you could experience what we call a karmic ending or completion, a soul contract with another person being fulfilled, a fated event in which you feel a real sense of readiness or a knowing, you just feel it. We are feeling the truth. We're feeling it in our bodies very clearly. And I'm going to tell you why when we get to the aspects. But you could even have a last straw moment. You could be like, I am so done with this. I can't go on any longer with this person, the situation, this pattern that I am doing within myself. Whatever is out of balance for you is up for rectifying during this solar eclipse. And this could feel quite serious to you because the cardinal signs are often connected to a sense of duty, obligation. I said I would do it. I promised. Libra energy. I agreed. And yet, when a soul contract ends or when a situation is complete for us on a soul level, we have to be willing to release ourselves from that obligation. And if you can relate, I think many of you will be able to relate to this. I certainly can. If you have in the past or even the immediate present prioritized relationship harmony, avoided conflict, instead of answering the calling of your soul, which I know is a dramatic statement, but instead of really listening to what your heart wants, another way of saying it is if you got swallowed up in a relationship or you made a lot of compromises to make the other person happy because it's what they wanted, and now you're feeling resentful, or now you're feeling like, I did this for you for so long and now it's my turn. If you can relate to any of that, this is your eclipse. This is definitely an invitation for you to take back your power. Because on a soul level, eclipses put us back into alignment with the decisions that we made as souls to further our evolution and our growth in this lifetime. And this eclipse is opposite the North Node of Destiny in Aries, which is pulling at us. You may feel a push-pull. We're balancing the South and the North Node, but the North Node could feel like a suction cup. It could feel like it's pulling you very strongly toward your own freedom, your own independence. Maybe you were working a job and now you're being called to start your own business or to become more of a freelancer. Whatever the situation, we are all being called by the North Node in Aries to say yes to the next level of our expression, our creativity, our ability to love and be loved. Now, even though this is the last eclipse conjunct the South Node in Libra until 2042, we will have another eclipse on this Aries-Libra axis, March of 2025, but that eclipse will be in Aries. And that may be when we see the fruition of the vision that we are now creating during this eclipse. That may be when we see that come to fruition, because eclipses often play out over a 6-month period. So who will most feel the solar eclipse in Libra? It's happening at 10 degrees. Those of you who have planets or points between 5 and 15 degrees of Libra or the other cardinal signs of Aries, Capricorn, or Cancer, you will feel this eclipse most intensely, most personally. This said, especially when I get to the aspects and give you a sense of what's going on, because they are somewhat intense, you're going to see why I feel that we are all going to feel this eclipse on a collective level. And the truth is, we're feeling it right now. Some of the things that we're seeing are expressions of the eclipse energy playing out. The number 10, which is the degree at which this eclipse in Libra is happening, emphasizes the new beginnings flavor of the energy. The number 1 is initiating something new, a new phase of life, a new chapter, a new idea, a new possibility. Add to the number 1, 0. 0 is God's number. 0 is everything is possible. It's the number of wholeness. Anything can fit within that circle. This eclipse is new beginnings amplified. So if you are feeling like you are so ready to get out of where the cocoon that you've been in, or the rut that you've been in, or any sense of boredom or stagnancy or lack of creativity, this is your eclipse, my friend. Now, my inner detective loves going back to the last time that we had an eclipse in the same sign around or at the same degree point. So what I found out in my research is that the last time we had an eclipse at 10 degrees of Libra was October 3rd, 2005. And before that, it was October 3rd, same date, 1986. This is how long it takes for the lunar nodes to come back to the same signs that they were in. They are 18.5-year to 19-year cycles. And this could feel like a chapter for you. This could feel like a chapter opening, a chapter closing, a new phase of your life. And I'll give you an example. So October 3rd, 2005, that was the last eclipse that we had in Libra, conjunct the South Node in Libra. And for me, using the Placidus house system. Now, I use the whole sign house system just like all YouTube astrologers do for your YouTube readings. But in my one-to-one readings with clients and for myself, I use the Placidus system. In the Placidus system, I have Libra in my 4th and 5th houses, the house of home and family and the house of love, romance, children, and creativity. October 3rd, 2005, I separated from my former husband and I moved out of the beautiful custom home that we built together. I did a lot of the design work myself, and it was both heartbreaking and extremely painful. And at the same time, I had a sense of exhilaration and freedom and excitement for what was to come. The time before that, 19 years earlier, was October 3rd, 1986. And right around the time of that eclipse, my former husband and I got married. And we had a beautiful wedding, but I have to say that back then I was not following the eclipses. I was not a professional astrologer then, and I would never plan a wedding or any other important occasion during an eclipse time. Why? Because there are too many unexpected disruptions or surprises that can happen, which did happen for us right before the wedding. Fortunately, everything was resolved by the time that the guests arrived, but eclipses are not the time to plan important celebrations or anything else joyful that you can control the timing of. So when you look back to these last 2 eclipses that we had, October 2005, October 1986, please only look at the themes. For me, it was clearly home, family, and relationship. And if you did have a painful ending, which is very likely for a lot of us, I had a painful ending. If you did have a painful ending during that time, it doesn't mean that that is going to be your experience this time. You've evolved and grown since then. The transits that are happening around the eclipse energy are different than they were before. But because the eclipses are happening in the same place in your natal astrology chart, the themes are often relevant. Now, the aspects to this eclipse are potent. Number 1, this eclipse makes a square to Mars in Cancer. Mars is our desire, our passion, our mojo, our drive. In Cancer, we want emotional security. We are highly sensitive. Relationships with family or chosen family will be highlighted. We could be more emotionally reactive during this time, so I encourage everyone to be aware of their emotions, to constructively process your anger, because this is a time that we want to be especially conscious of having courageous conversations with others. Courageous meaning we let others know how we feel. We allow ourselves to be vulnerable to the extent that we feel safe to do so. But we take responsibility for our own emotions and we steer clear of blaming the other person for what we're feeling. The eclipse squaring Mars, I think, is going to play out as a choice point, a decision that you feel you have to make around this eclipse time. What is going to help us make that decision? There's a party in Libra energy. We've got the sun and the moon. We have Mercury, and we also have Black Moon Lilith, which I will speak about in a moment. Mercury is the planet of communication. It is the divine messenger. We could receive more illumination, more aha moments. There will be lots of communication happening, emails and meetings and get-togethers, new information coming out, people announcing things, new businesses opening and businesses closing, for example. Potentially lots of new ideas streaming in. However, because Black Moon Lilith is also conjunct Mercury, and Black Moon Lilith represents the deep inner feminine that has been shrouded in darkness, often connected to past lives and deep fears that feel very dark to us of like the worst that could happen. This is like catastrophic thinking to the nth degree, often where we also feel very powerless. And I believe these fears are connected to past lifetimes where we were powerless, where we didn't have the ability to change our situation, and where something maybe very scary happened to us. The good news about Black Moon Lilith and the fears that come up is that they are usually just fear that isn't going to play out in reality. So that is something I always tell myself. When something that feels like so dire comes into my mind, I look at where is Black Moon Lilith, and conjunct the sun and the moon, this is a call to process the fear that is coming up. Mars in Cancer, squaring not only the eclipse, but also Mercury and Black Moon Lilith. What does that tell me? It reminds me that the mind is a bad neighborhood. It reminds me that anxiety and worry will very possibly arise during this time. And, you know, this is quite natural if you think of the fact that we are going into new territory, that we are doing something or thinking about what is our next step. And it may feel very ephemeral around this eclipse time. It may feel like I know kind of what I need to do, but I've never been there before and I don't know if I can succeed at it, and it makes me nervous. The good news is all we have to do is meet the fear, process the fear, breathe through it, release it, use your favorite method for processing your emotions, and let it go. We do have some really beautiful aspects that are going to help us release and let go during this eclipse. What is the ruler of this eclipse? It's Venus. What sign is Venus in? She's in Scorpio. Scorpio wants to get to the root of the matter and heal it. Scorpio is passion. Scorpio is quite sexy. It's deep and it's devoted. Devoted to truth, devoted to integrity, devoted to self-trust. Venus in Scorpio is making a beautiful flowing trine to Mars in Cancer. Venus and Mars, they are the lovers of the zodiac within all of us, and they are working together. They are working harmoniously together. Not only this, we actually have a grand trine in water. What is a grand trine in water, you ask? It is 3 planets in water signs, all flowing harmoniously together, supporting us to go after what we want and have success, but also, not only this, supporting us to move through and heal anything on an emotional level that has been a stuck point for us. Venus in Scorpio, Mars in Cancer, and the third point of this grand trine is Saturn retrograde in Pisces. Saturn helps stabilize this grand trine in water, and Saturn in Pisces retrograde is also helping us to be discerning and to set clear boundaries. And what I love about a grand trine in water is that we will feel in our bodies, because water energy helps us to feel, sense, know based on how we're flowing with life, helps us to sense what the right move is and helps us to receive the clarity that we need. And what's more, a grand trine in water helps our energy flow. It helps us to restore balance. It ignites our imagination. It's beautiful for creativity, and it really heightens our intuition, including even telepathic understanding, more compassion, compassion for yourself and compassion for whoever you are navigating this eclipse time with. And not only this, we still have that very supportive triangle of energy between the 3 outer planets, Uranus retrograde in Taurus, Neptune retrograde in Pisces, and Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. These 3 planets are like stealth planets. To me, they are creating this very stealth support system that is both grounding us and helping us to navigate our way forward with strength, ease, and empowerment. I want to close with one journaling prompt that may really help you as you are navigating this relationship-focused eclipse energy. And it is, how can I, or we, if we're talking about a partnership, respectfully, lovingly relate in a way that builds trust and healthy connection instead of causing hurt or damage to the relationship? Can we work in harmony to restore a healthy mutual reciprocity, or are our souls calling us in different directions? Okay, my beautiful friend, let us do the 12 sign readings now. Listen to your rising sign. This is based on the whole sign house system. In one-on-one readings, I use the Placidus system, but all YouTube astrologers use the whole sign house system, and your rising sign is the most accurate in terms of the area of your chart in which this eclipse is happening. Listen to your sun sign as well. This may be very relevant in terms of the themes that are going on for you, as I illustrated in my examples of the last couple of Libra eclipses that happened in 2005 and 1986. So go back to the first part of the video if you missed that. And you may also want to listen to your moon sign, as this can give you further intuitive messages. So we're going to start with Libra, because Libra, this is your eclipse. This is your solar new moon, new beginnings eclipse, beautiful Libra, and this is quite exciting for you. It is happening for you in your first house of identity. Now, keep in mind that during this eclipse, we both have a karmic ending, release, graduation moment, something coming full circle, and an opportunity to create space through that ending for a brand new beginning, a new vision. So both are happening at the same time. Given this, you may be letting go of a role. You may be changing your title in your personal life or in your professional life. You may be releasing an obligation or a duty to somebody in your life. It could be a duty or a role that you've played in your family. It could be you letting go of a relationship commitment. It could be you stepping into a new role, a new relationship in business, in your family, in friendship, or in romance. You may feel like your status is changing in some way because the first house is our self-image. It's how we describe ourselves to other people. If someone says, tell me a little bit about yourself, you might say, I'm married, or I have a significant other, or I'm single, or I work for this person, or this is my job title. This is my area of expertise. That could be shifting for you on any one of those levels. The first house is also your vitality. The first house rules the body. So you could have a physical change. You could release weight. You could gain weight. You could decide that you want to do a makeover or that you want to change your body in some way. Some of you may get really into strength training. Some of you may start a new exercise routine. Anything that comes up for you around this eclipse that feels like it could be a health issue, you definitely want to get it checked out because eclipses are times that things get brought to light. And that doesn't mean you're going to have any serious problem. I don't want to convey that at all. It just means that anything that's unexpected or out of the blue, it's a good practice to really pay attention to that. Get it checked out. So beautiful Libra, in what way would you like to expand your identity? Do you want to start your own business? Do you want to change jobs? Do you want to change relationships? Do you want to go from single to married or from married to single? And I don't just mean to focus on marriage. A lot of people don't get married anymore. I totally get that. But it could even be a shift from, I've been dating this person and now we're committing and the next step is going to be moving into with one another. So that's the idea. It's like taking something to a new level, to a new expression of being, I should say. And beautiful Libra, if you didn't watch the first half of this video, go back and watch that because I talk all about the aspects between the planets. And that's where I give you tips on how to best navigate the energies. We are having squares where I have got a grand trine in water. We have a lot going on during this eclipse that will help you to navigate it with more ease and grace. So I'm shuffling for you now, and I'm going to pull a card, and we're going to see what the cards have to say for this next chapter of your life. Many of you, if you are having planets or points in your natal chart activated at around this 10-degree point, 5 to 15 degrees, then you will likely feel like you are beginning a brand new chapter of your life in some area. This could be work, it could be partnerships, it can be any area of your life because it's an angle of your chart and that affects all angles, home as well. Okay, so beautiful Libra, let me pull a card for you. Libra, your card is, Sky Dancer's Surrender. I love this card so much. This is a dragonfly. Dragonflies represent transformation. You are, and when I look at this full moon image, I see eclipse energy as well. So this card is saying you are going through a transformation and be the dragonfly. Imagine shapeshift into the dragonfly. Imagine that if you are a dragonfly, how would you move through your life at this time? Many of us are going to have what feel like growing pains because of the square to Mars. And there's only so much that we can control. A lot of times eclipse energies feel out of our control. So your mantra is surrender. I surrender. I release and I let go. I let the spirit run my life. That song makes me cry because it opens us up to the truth that we are held, we are protected, and that the spirit is running our life and we don't have to work so hard. We don't have to stress so much. We don't have to worry so much about doing it all alone. So beautiful Libra, if you relate to this, leave me a comment. I would love to hear. Virgo, hello, beautiful Virgo. Virgo, you are having this Libra solar eclipse, a brand new beginning, but also a karmic ending, a karmic wrap up as well. We are at the end of a learning curve during this eclipse time. And this is happening for you in your house of earned income, self-worth and deserving, self-esteem, your possessions. Big picture, this is all your material security. This is your sense of self-reliance, being able to support yourself, ideally doing what you love, or at the very least finding joy in what you do that earns you a living. So beautiful Virgo, many of you are letting go of a job or a way that you've earned money. You have decided, I'm guessing a lot of you, that you want to earn more money. Maybe your values have shifted. Maybe you have decided that you deserve more. We are different people now. We have been evolving ever since the nodes of the moon went into Libra and Aries in July of 2023. We have been on an evolutionary path of soul growth. And this means that you have up-leveled on an inner level, a lot of you, and you are now ready to shift your sense of material security. So something is getting eclipsed out of your life, and it could be a job, it could be a possession. You could actually decide you want to have a sale, like a garage sale or a yard sale, and you want to get rid of a lot of stuff. You could feel like, I don't need everything that I have, or there's something new that I want to buy and I'm going to sell this and this and this to get the money to buy this new thing. Something's getting eclipsed out and a new vision is percolating in your mind for your next chapter. And I believe that most of us are very ready. It's almost as though we have been in this cocoon. We have been in a time, the lunations that we've had the last couple of months have been so deep diving. They have been so purging for a lot of us. I think a lot of us are really ready to literally, like, I get this image of racehorses at the track, and we don't know where we're going. We don't know if we can win. We don't know who our competition is, but we just want to get out of the gate. So Virgo, if you can relate to that, let me know. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. But I think there's an aspect of us that is just raring to go and get out and experience this new level of life, this new territory that the North Node in Aries is calling us to. And, you know, your ending is most likely, like it is for everyone else, a karmic ending that has to do with not over-compromising with another person. This could be anyone in your life. It could be someone you work with. It could be a partner. It could be any aspect of your life, or it could be a way of being. It could be a way of being in relationships, a way of valuing or not truly valuing yourself or your earning capacity, for example. Not fully seeing your gifts. It could be that too. And that is ready to change, beautiful Virgo. So I've been shuffling. Let's pull a card for you now. Virgo, for the Libra solar eclipse, your card is Deep Diver, diving into a task. Wow, wow, wow. Virgo, it's the mermaid, and you guys are the mermaids. Your energy is mermaid archetype energy. The siren, that's you guys. You are ready to dive into a task. You are ready. Now, this could be an inner task because it's water energy, but it could also be just something that you know you are ready to work on right now. Something physical, something earthly. It could be creating a resume, for example, or doing research online, making calls to people that you think might be good leads for whatever it is that you want to bring into your life. So beautiful Virgo, if this resonates, let me know. I think this is such a gorgeous card. And it's the number 10. This eclipse is 10 degrees. So it's the number 10. It's the one, new beginnings amplified by the 0. God's energy. You are unlimited. You are protected. You have everything you need to receive your treasure at the bottom of the ocean in your deep dive exploration, beautiful Virgo. If this resonates, let me know. Leave me a comment. I'd love to hear. Leo, hello, beautiful Leo. Leo, you are will experience the solar eclipse in Libra. in your third house of mindset, communication, messaging, your third house of your local environment, you may experience some sort of intense or important communication with a sibling, a neighbor, an aunt, uncle, or cousin, a landlord, someone in your immediate environment, somebody that you interact with on a regular basis. You could find yourself at a turning point in one of these relationships and ready to heal something within yourself or within that relationship. You could decide you want to change locations because this is the house of locations. It's the house of your local hood. And you could decide, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to work here anymore. I don't want to live in this area anymore. I want to find a different place. Some of you are getting your technology together because, or like buying new technology or renovating it, changing your systems because this is also the house of devices. That could also apply to a new vehicle, or you could be taking a short trip that is an exploratory kind of trip. Like you are going someplace new or you're doing some sort of research project that has you traveling to different areas to find out new information, to meet new people, to explore new possibilities. You could be teaching something, you could be writing, you could be planning a website, for example. You could be building a new website. You could be planning a new course or a presentation. You get the idea. This is the house of messaging. So each and every one of us is most likely during this eclipse experiencing an ending, a release, a graduation full circle moment, or a wrap up, a karmic wrap up in a particular relationship or in a number of relationships. And at the same time, by doing that, we create new space for a new vision, a new beginning. So beautiful, Leo. I want you to know also that you could be awakening to the fact that your gifts or talents or abilities are more expanded, that you haven't given yourself enough credit for who you are, and that you have much more to offer than you realized before. And that will be reflected in any action that you take from this point forward as a result of this eclipse. So I'm shuffling for you, and I want to see what the cards have to say for you. Beautiful Leo. Let's see. Leo, what is your card? It is, the whale song resonating. What a gorgeous card. Wow, wow, wow. Whales are incredibly intelligent. Whales give us sonic vibrational messages. There's a wisdom, an ancient wisdom to the messaging of whales. And look at this circle, this mandala, this sense of wholeness and circling with the whale in the center. Listen to the vibrations of your soul. You may even take this literally and go listen to whale songs or go on a whale watching trip if you're able to do that. But there's something about resonance. There's something about resonating with the whales that is going to help you. It will be healing for you. You can see this heart healing, this green energy. The other message that's coming in, Leo, is going back to a primal sense of who you are. It's like I sense and feel some of you doing a deep guided meditation. You're connecting in your visualization meditation to the whale. The whale has a message for you, and it reminds you of your primal roots as a spiritual being. It takes you back to beginner's mind. And it resonates for you at a very, very deep soul level. I have guided meditations for you on my YouTube channel. I have a playlist. It's linked in the description box below. But I also have a free soothing guided meditation that connects you to your guides that you can download for free, an instant download on my website when you sign up for my inspirational update. So that's another guided meditation that you may want to check out. Regardless of the meditation or visualization you do, the whale is calling to you, beautiful Leo. I love this so much. There's a new resonance that you're going to feel that's going to put you in sync with your heart, and it's going to be like a brand new beginning for you. A paradigm shift for you even. So if this resonates, if this resonates, leave us a comment. I would love to hear. Cancer, hello, beautiful Cancer. Cancer, I have my moon and rising in Cancer, and those of us who are Cancer risings are going to experience this new moon eclipse in our 4th house of home and family, childhood conditioning, ancestral healing, the most personal area of the chart. This is your house of roots and belonging. Some of you purely and simply want to move, you're ready to move, or this eclipse is going to put you in a position where you feel like you have to move. I hope that doesn't happen if it's not your choice, Cancer, if you don't want to move, and I hope nothing happens that would require a move. But if it did, that's only because at a very deep soul level where you are is not the best place for you. Big picture on this deep soul level, Cancers are being supported to sink their roots deeper into the earth, into their chosen location, to where you could feel a sense of deep belonging. And in a lot of ways, those roots are within us, right? It isn't necessarily tied to your physical home and where you live. It's tied to security. It's tied to when we were very young children or in past lifetimes, when our emotional needs were met or not met, and how we now care for our feelings as a result. With the eclipse making a square to Mars in Cancer, I think Cancers are really going to feel this eclipse. Of course, you feel all eclipses, Cancers, because you are ruled by the moon. So probably almost every eclipse you feel. Doesn't mean they're all disruptive to you. Doesn't mean they all bring you major change. Of course, that's not true. We couldn't handle that much change on the human level. But even if you're not experiencing a change during this particular eclipse, somebody in your family could be having a real change. And as I said in my Mars in Cancer video, if you haven't watched that, go check that out. During that video, I talked about how Cancers are always tuned into other people's emotions first. And this eclipse being in Libra, which rules our relationships, we are very much called to focus on our own well-being, to put our own soul's calling first this time, Cancer. So this means we are raising the level of our standards. We are more attuned to what we truly want. That is what this eclipse is asking us to do, especially in the realm of home and family. And even if you've had a strong commitment to a family member, or a chosen family member, and you feel torn, especially if you feel torn or you feel like something is off, this eclipse is calling you to rebalance that relationship, or to cut ties and go your own way if that's absolutely necessary. Boundaries, 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 beautiful Cancer. And none of us Cancers are strangers to boundaries. It's part of our life lesson, right, Cancer? So I've been shuffling for you. Let us pull a card for you and see what the cards have to say for your eclipse, beautiful Cancer. An ending and a brilliant, bright, new beginning in which you are more authentically yourself and feeling more rooted and a deeper sense of belonging than ever before. And your card is, in the hand, the universe is your partner. Oh my goodness, I love this card. Wow, this is so gorgeous. The universe is your partner. That's what my book is about, how to partner with your soul. I love this so much. I see this as a gold heart. To me, there's a golden heart here. And this is the hand of the Creator, the hand of the divine, the hand of God, however you describe divine energy. And this is saying the divine wants to hold your golden heart. You have a heart of gold, beautiful Cancer, and the divine wants to hold it. Look at this red-orange energy. This is the root chakra. The 4th house where you're having this eclipse is the root chakra. But there's also creativity here, and there's so much gold in your heart, Cancer. Aww. Partner with your soul. My book is all about partnering with your soul. There are a lot of resources on YouTube that can help you with that. There are a lot of resources from a lot of wonderful people. And there are many different ways we can connect with the divine. You are not alone, Cancer. The divine is ushering your golden heart and beautiful self through this eclipse. Leave me a comment. If this resonates, I'd love to hear. Gemini. Hello, beautiful Gemini. I have my natal sun in Gemini. And those of you who are Gemini risings, you will be experiencing this Libra solar eclipse, an ending and a new beginning in your 5th house of love and romance, creative expression. This is the house of your inner child. I call it inner child delight. And this is how the house of children, all children, any children, your own children or children that you play with, that you have, that are maybe in your extended family. This is the house of playing full out, of letting your inner wild woman or man self out, not holding back, allowing yourself to be uninhibited, beautiful Gemini. So some of you are releasing a romance, or perhaps taking a bit of distance from an adult child if you're not feeling that relationship is healthy for you right now. Or you could be shifting your creative expression. You could be changing a way you create. You could be closing out a chapter of what you have created. You could be choosing a new creative focus, for example. You could be leaving behind a pattern. For example, a pattern of codependent behavior in a romance or someone else, or a relationship with someone else in your life. Any pattern or relationship that you are taking space from or cutting ties to is being eclipsed out so that you have new space for freedom, beautiful Gemini. Geminis love freedom. It is very important to you. The North Node in Aries, which opposes this eclipse, is all about freedom as well, freedom and adventure. And this 5th house is also adventure. So some of you, I feel, are going to be called to a great and grand adventure. Some of you are so ready for romance. And yes, you could definitely call in a romance over the next 6-month period, which is a typical amount of time for an eclipse to play out. You could expand your creativity. You could let go of inhibitions or rules or ways that you have acted before, or fears or worries. Geminis can be prone to worry too. You could let go of the fears and worries and give yourself permission. Here's a permission slip for you, Gemini. You could give yourself permission to try something new that you haven't done before. For example, I'm getting the image of somebody deciding to go out dancing, somebody who's used to working really hard. Maybe you have a corporate job. Maybe you have a job that just has you working really long hours, and you decide that you're going to try a certain kind of dancing. You're going to go out and listen to music regularly. You're going to do something that feels maybe a little bit scary to you, a little bit out of your comfort zone, but you know that you've got to change your routine and your pattern in some way. You've got to get more romance into your life, perhaps. And when I say romance, I don't necessarily mean with another person. It can be romancing your own soul. It can be bringing more color into your life, more sensuality, moving in your body more sensually, for example. Whatever it is for you, beautiful gems, there is a sense of you falling more in love with your life. This is what I would like to see. You falling more in love with your life because you are filling the space of whatever is leaving, whatever a way of being is leaving, whatever you are cutting ties to or shifting. You are filling the space with something beautiful, childlike, spontaneous, and joyful for you, and creative. Or at least it stimulates your creativity because it feels so good. It's in alignment with your soul. So gems, I've been shuffling. Let's see what the cards have for you. Gemini, your card is Crown Games, the right use of power. Wow, check out the card. Oh my goodness. So the very first thing I noticed was the crown, which is your spiritual royalty. It is your sense of being entitled to better things in your life. And I don't just mean like wealth and things like that. I just mean to a more fulfilling experience of life. I also notice the sparkle and all the gold. It reminds me of Julia Cameron talks about the vein of gold. She has a book called The Vein of Gold. Finding your own vein of gold, your own creativity, and the thing that makes your work of art, whatever kind of art it is, we all create works of art in our own way. Whatever your creative expression is, finding your own special vein of gold in that. And then a third message is the hands. Gemini's channel energy through their hands. Check out the hands. They are covering this person's third eye. Gemini also rules the shoulders. Look at the shoulders. So interesting, right? Shoulders and hands. And there's riches in the crown. This is also belief systems, changing the belief systems, crown chakra, the things that we think about ourselves, the things that we think about life, expanding that, releasing whatever is limiting for you. Crown games, the right use of power. You guys will know what right use of power means to you. You may find yourself in a power struggle during this eclipse. If you do, this card is calling you to shift your use of power to one that is more egalitarian, compassionate for the other, whoever the other is, and that is aligned from your soul, where you are receiving the inspiration from your soul. You are living from the place of soul integrity, power integrity, strong themes during this eclipse. So beautiful Gemini, there was so much in this card. I hope you were able to follow the things that I offered. This is going to be a powerful eclipse for you. Let me know your thoughts. I would love to know your thoughts on this card, any messages that come through for you, because just like Geminis are very complex and multi-layered, you are collage artists, many of you. You pull resources and information from a lot of different places. And this eclipse does conjunct Mercury, which rules Gemini energy. Because of this, you could be getting lots of ideas. This eclipse will trine your energy. You are going to get a trine, air, Libra, air to you. This is, I think, a lot of new possibilities are going to be streaming in for you. It's just going to be a question of how can you move your energy and integrity with the right use of your power, beautiful gems. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear. Taurus, hello, beautiful Taurus. Taurus, you are going to experience the solar eclipse in Libra in your 6th house of daily habits, health, and your work, your routines, your schedules. Optimal health is what this house is. And for you, for all of us, something's getting eclipsed out and creating space for a new vision, for a new phase of life, for a new chapter for some of you. For you, anything that is, I see this house as the house of wellness, and where we often have experiences with toxic bosses, toxic work situations, or the food that we're putting into our bodies, or the exercise or the lack of exercise can bring up health issues. And not to say that you're going to have a health issue. I'm just trying to say big picture. This is a house of like wellness and health and routines, and how we use our routines to create health. So oftentimes during an eclipse, what gets eclipsed out is anything toxic to us. And of course, toxic is a relative word. Anything that isn't good for you, that isn't good for your health, that isn't aligned with your soul. Some of you are going to realize that a soul contract with a boss has expired. It's been fulfilled. It's time to move on. This could be also a relationship with a coworker that you feel like you need to move on from, or you're working something out with someone. For some people, there will be a window of opportunity for us to have conversations. The eclipse does conjunct Mercury. We can have conversations that potentially can move a relationship together, put it back on track, in the right track, and we can reharmonize with someone. But that's definitely going to take effort and aligned intentions from both parties. Some of you may realize that an illness that you've been dealing with is wrapping up, that you are healing, and that you are moving on from something that's been chronic, which would be really amazing and beautiful. You could decide, I don't want a job anymore. I don't want to work for another person. I want to run my own life. I want freedom. I want to do it my way. And so I'm going to start my own business. Or you could be just deciding to do your days differently, to have a new lifestyle. Some of you, this is the house of lifestyle as well. Whatever you do release, whatever you let go of, what isn't ever is not in alignment with your current values and your current, the best interests of you on all levels, because this house is mental wellness, emotional wellness, physical wellness. Whatever you decide has completed for you on a karmic level, letting that go is creating space. Letting that go is creating space for something new that is in alignment with your soul, a new vision, planting seeds, or you just get catapulted into it. Often with a solar eclipse, something just happens. Our souls line us up with the something new. That's also very possible. Give the eclipse at least 6 months to play out. When we have the next eclipse, the very last eclipse on this axis in Aries, next March, you may feel a culmination then. But this eclipse is really nudging us or pushing us in, depending on the aspects being made to your natal chart, pushing us in a new direction. Taurus, let me pull a card for you and see what the cards have to say. I am very curious. The cards have been so interesting so far for this eclipse. I am really, I think this is going to be such a dynamic eclipse. What did the cards have to say for a shift, a change, a new ending, a new beginning in your house of daily habits, work, and routines and wellness? Beautiful Taurus. Taurus, your card is lost in space, needing direction. Check out the cards. Some of you feel lost in space. We are between worlds right now. This is the eclipse energy. Between eclipses, the veil is thin and you could very well feel ungrounded. You could very well feel like I have no idea what I'm doing next. You could feel like I don't want to leave. You know, astrologers talk about this a lot. I'm sure you've heard it, Taurus, that your energy is not one that embraces change. You want stability. You want to know that there's a plan. You can slowly but surely work your way up or slowly but surely build what you want to build. You're an earth sign. You tend to move a little bit more slowly, but you are very determined, very directed usually. And I could see how an eclipse like this, which does make a quincunx to your energy, could make you feel discombobulated. It could make you feel like something feels like it might be unraveling. You may not even know if something's changing. You could just feel like an energetic unraveling and not know what's next. And I know that feeling, Taurus. I have so much compassion for it if you feel that way. This card is giving you guidance. It is saying it is okay to need direction. Look at this card. There's so much elegance in this card. There is a third eye activation here. Some of you are going to get information through your third eye. You're going to get new ideas, new possibilities. Allow yourself to be an explorer. Look at the purple. That is crown energy. She is holding the planet in her hands. Taurus, you are an earth sign. You are connected to the earth. Imagine that you can hold the earth in your hands and that you actually do have the power to receive the inspirations and the guidance that you need, because you do. And call on the angels, call on your spiritual guides, journal, get my book. You will then have somebody who is holding your hand as you walk across the bridge from where you are now to where you want to be. Don't try to do this alone. Lost in space sometimes is a time that we are just meant to float. We are just meant to be in the in-between time. And that's hard for Taurus energy. But sometimes we have to get lost before we can be found, before we can get the direction that we most need. So Taurus, let me know in the comments below. You are so held. Listen to your body's guidance. The answers are within, and it's okay to be lost in space for a little bit. Aries, hello, beautiful Aries. Aries, you are going to experience the Libra solar eclipse. You are going to feel this one because it is directly across from your first house and your seventh house of partnerships that this eclipse is going to be happening in your chart. And this means that some of you, because eclipses eclipse something out and a solar eclipse brings in something new, you could have a relationship eclipsed out. You could have a status eclipsed out. You could go from married to single. You could go from single to committed. There's a shift. There's a change. For some of you, this is an up-leveling. For some of you, this is a releasing and letting go. It's going to be different for all of you, but most of us are going to be having conversations that can feel tense during this time. I talk all about this in the beginning of the video, the first half. Watch that if you haven't already. We are being guided to not overcompromise, not give too much and then feel resentful. Instead, to follow the North Node in your sign, beautiful Aries. Be independent, be free, but also that doesn't mean we have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. That doesn't mean we have to end a relationship just because we're feeling a call to our soul if our partnership supports our calling. You may end a way of being in a partnership. You may end a codependent pattern. You may end a way in which you don't take care of yourself within partnership. Or you may just be very clear that you are cutting ties to a specific connection with another person. Whatever is coming full circle, whatever karmic completion you are experiencing, beautiful Aries, you are also going to experience the wind underneath your wings to start something brand new. Now, this eclipse is what we call an opposition to you, and that means it will likely play out with another person. Somebody across the wheel from you, so to speak, may trigger you emotionally into a decision. You are likely at a choice point. You are likely deciding what to do. Could be deciding what to do in a relationship, but it could be any area of your life because this is an angle of your chart. And the angles of our chart often affect career, home and family, partnership, our own sense of identity. And because the North Node's in your sign and the South Node in Libra is conjunct this eclipse, there is a shift in relationship for a lot of us. But again, if you're happy in your relationship, I'm not saying that that is going to end, not at all. There are lots of people who are Aries who are staying in their relationships because they're fulfilled in them. Others are questioning. Others are having conversations with their significant others. And this is business partners too, by the way. This is not just a romantic partnership. This is anyone in your life with whom you share a bond. And if you say, because sometimes people say this in the comments, well, I'm not in a relationship with anyone. If that's true, and I'm not making fun of that at all, a lot of us have, by choice, choose to not be in relationship. But we're always in relationship with ourselves. We're always in relationship with our own heart and with our own soul. And this could be a deeper dive for you in your faith. Trust of your own self, Aries, if that resonates for you as well. Or your relationship with a pet. So, or a parent, or a child, a coworker, and so on, a best friend. So it is time, big picture, beautiful Aries, to partner with people that are aligned with you on a soul level. This is going to bring lots of joy to your heart and sense of purpose and sense that you are traveling into that new territory with people that you're meant to travel with. So I am going to pull a card. One last shuffle here. I've been shuffling. One last shuffle. Let's see what the cards have for you, beautiful Aries. Aries, what's your card? Your card is, covenant, sacred contract. Yes, yes, yes. So cool. Okay, check it out. So some of you are ending a sacred contract. Some of you are entering into a sacred contract with yourself or with another. For some of you, this is a call to begin journaling more, to begin writing, maybe automatic writing, which I teach you how to do in my book, The Magic of Saying Yes. I give you lots of examples of my letters to spirit that I wrote when I was in deep transition, not knowing what was coming next for me. This is a very cool card. I feel that some of you, because it's a sacred contract, and I believe that all of our relationships are sacred on a certain level, but I feel that for some of you, there's an awakening to the contract with your own soul that is going to be happening for you during this eclipse. And wouldn't that be exciting? Or you could be meeting someone and you could say, I want to see if there's that kind of relationship is going to unfold for us. Or a relationship is going to that deeper, more sacred feeling level. Beautiful Aries, whatever it is, let me know in the comments below. I absolutely love this energy. And by the way, this eclipse being conjunct Mercury, which is writing, also brings up this communication, messaging, writing, divine download from spirit kind of energy as well. So leave me a comment if it resonates, let me know. Pisces, hello, beautiful Pisces. Pisces, you are going to be experiencing the new moon solar eclipse, ring of fire eclipse in your 8th house of power. This is really interesting because, as I spoke about in the beginning of this video, there's a real theme of integrity with this eclipse, and integrity is obviously related to power. It's related to our use of power. Something is getting eclipsed out for you in this area of intimate partnerships, emotionally and or sexually. Not all of these partnerships are romantic. Some of them are business partnerships. They can also be clients. This is the house of money from others. It's the house where you are sharing time, money, or resources with another person or people. It's also the house of financial deals, loans, and taxes. Also where we get inheritances, where we make investments. You could be reinvesting your money. You could be deciding that your investments have not brought you what they want, or you could be really happy and be cashing something in or purchasing something like a home or another big purchase. This is the house of assets, like physical assets. Some of you, something's getting eclipsed out, so that could be a soul contract with another person in business or in your personal life. Because Venus is in Scorpio, and Venus in Scorpio is connected to 8th house energy. It is, Scorpio energy is 8th house energy. Because of this, I feel that you are going to feel this on a very deep level. And if you are in a partnership, you're going to probably feel you could do a deep dive with your partner. You deep dive as in like, let's get to the root of something. Let's, maybe you do some tantric kind of practices together. There's something very deep and soulful and transformational with Venus being in Scorpio during the eclipse and trining Mars. I love this about this eclipse, not to mention the grand trine in water that we have. Go back and watch the first part of the video if you don't know what I'm talking about. This is a deep diving eclipse. It is solar, so that's new beginnings. That has a lightness to it with the air of Libra energy. And I'm sure that a lot of you have been doing some deep diving emotional healing work or shadow work because the lunar eclipse was in your sign Pisces, but I feel that this eclipse is both, I'm getting this image of us coming out of the water, like we've been submerged, we've been in a very deep place. Maybe you have, this can also be the house where you realize, you get a truth, you get an illumination, you realize someone's been deceptive, you realize you see something you didn't see before. Some of you are going to be seeing a truth and then bursting out of the water and like coming to the surface and going, oh my God, I can't believe this or that was the truth. But now I see the light and now I feel free and released from any sense of burden or karmic connection that, before you saw the light. So that could happen as well. But this will be a transformational eclipse for you Pisces in the 8th house, no question. Because this is the house of death and rebirth. So there's an ending, but there's a brand new beginning, and new beginnings can bring in more money for you from other people. New beginnings here can bring in a transformation that really makes you feel like the phoenix rising from the ashes. Also a deepening of a partnership or attracting a new partner or taking a partnership that you've been in that's been more casual to like moving in together or beginning to pool some resources. That could happen too, or buying a house together, that kind of thing. So, okay, let's see what the cards have for you, Pisces. Pisces, your card is... Oh, Pisces, the joyful muse. Yes. Oh my gosh, I love this card. One of my clients got this card the other day and we were both celebrating it because this is a card of creativity and lightness. This is a card of inspiration. Pisces, you are so artistic. You have a direct line to the divine muse. You have a direct line to your own creative expansion. This card is saying you are going to go through a creative expansion. Look how light and playful it is. This card is a real call to bring back your lightheartedness, your playfulness. We've been through some very deep diving transits lately. Look at the heart energy, the green, the heart chakra energy here. It's time to just break out your paints or your colored markers or your music, whatever you use to create, and have fun. Just have fun. Laughter, have people over, dance, do whatever it takes to feel like a kid again. That will call in the playful muse. That will bring the playful muse back into your life, back into your heart, back into your creativity. Beautiful Pisces, if this resonates for you, leave me a comment. I would love to hear. Okay, Aquarius, Aquarius. I'm always laughing at myself after I sing. That's why you guys hear that little giggle. Aquarius, here's the deal. You are having this solar eclipse in Libra. It's going to make a trine to your energy, Aquarius. I love this so much for you. This is going to be very expansive for you. Not only are your air and Libra's air teaming up together, floating you forward, putting the wind in your sails, but this is the house of expansion. Wow, this is a wow. Okay, so something's getting eclipsed out from all of our lives. For you, it will be very gentle, most likely, because you're getting a trine. Of course, you could have this eclipse make aspects to other planets or points in your chart that have different kinds of, that could be squares or could be oppositions. I don't know without seeing your chart. But what I do see is that if you're Aquarius rising, you're getting positive wind at your back, wind in your sails, energy to the point of your rising. And especially if you have planets or points near the degree, go back to part 1 if you don't know what that is. I share that in part 1 of this video. Overall, this is quite lovely, simpatico energy. Expansion, new horizons, new adventures. What's getting eclipsed out for you? This would probably be walking away from anything that has felt stifling to you. In this house, it's often a spiritual belief system or religion or something oppressive that is just making you feel suffocated. We don't always know when we feel suffocated, but Aquarius, you will that's what eclipses are for. They show us. They show us if we have been. It could be a relationship with a teacher or a guru that is ending for you, or you realize the rose-colored glasses came off, the person came off a pedestal, and that's painful. I know that's hard, but it also frees you. This is going to be a freeing and liberating eclipse for you. Slow down, Betsy. Now remember, this is an ending eclipse, something eclipsed out, and a new beginning. So these could be sort of mushed together and not as clear, but for example, you could be publishing something new, or you could be saying, I thought I was going to publish this book and I'm scrapping that project. I'm not doing it anymore. You could be saying, I want to move to another culture. This is the house of long distance travel. You could say, I want to take a trip, or you could have already done that and now you're coming home. You get the idea. Like there's a continuum here. Whatever you are ending, and this could be a relationship, or a way of being in relationship, or maybe you were so prioritizing Aquarius, prioritizing the other person, a partner, a business partner, and so on. You so prioritize their needs, and now you're like, it's my turn. And can we reach some sort of compromise, or can we reach an agreement? It's probably a better way to put it, on what we'll do next, because I need adventure. You probably are really ready for adventure, Aquarius, for a new horizon, new scenery. Whatever you say yes to, whatever your vision is, it will expand you. It will awaken you spiritually. Some of you could, maybe you want to move to another country, but that feels too daunting. So maybe you take a retreat in another country as a stepping stone. Maybe you take a trip. Before I moved to Puerto Vallarta, I did several trips there. I spent a lot of time there. I actually wrote some of my book there. I did a book talk there a year later when it came out. I had a lot of experiences there before I decided to move there. This is also the house of teaching and learning, along with the third house, that axis. So you could be teaching something here too, or presenting something, or launching a new program that is educational for others. Some of you may do a big commitment and say, I'm going to get a degree, a master's degree, a PhD, something that takes a lot of time and effort. That could happen as well. So Aquarius, something's eclipsed out, something new is coming in, you're creating space for a new vision, it's expansive, it's exciting, it is exhilarating for some of you. Let's see what the cards have to say. Beautiful Aquarius. Aquarius, your card is the Magician's Sword, confidence in your magic. Check it out. Wow, Aquarius. Oh my gosh, this card is so fiery. Wow. I want this card. The Magician's Sword. You know what's cool about this? Okay, first of all, the Magician is the alchemist, right? We do have a conjunction of this eclipse to Mercury, which brings in magician energy, but the sword is air energy, and you are air, Aquarius. And you are feeling, because of this eclipse, a new confidence in your ability to create magic, to do the thing you think you cannot do. This next adventure, for some of you, maybe you're already there. Maybe you don't need extra help. But because the North Node is in Aries, that usually is a stretch, that usually requires extra courage and risk-taking. And if that's true for you, something is burning up, something is burning away that was a block or an obstacle or lower confidence. And there is a new light energy because of your light, Aquarius, because of your light and your spirit that is making this sword an implement of magic for you. So very cool. The number of this card is 37, which reduces to a 1. A 1 is brand new beginnings. If you relate to any of this, leave me a message. I would love to hear, and you will inspire all of us, beautiful Aquarius. Capricorn, hello, beautiful Capricorn. Capricorn, you are experiencing this lunar eclipse in Libra in your 10th house, and you are getting a square from this eclipse to your Capricorn energy, which means that there's tension and pressure for you to take action, for you to release something that's no longer right for you, and for you to say yes to what is. Something is getting eclipsed out in your life, and it most likely has to do with career, with your own business. If you're an entrepreneur, you are releasing or walking away from a business, perhaps you sold a business. Now, this is not just necessarily a business. That's one iteration of this. You could be leaving a career where you worked for someone for a number of years. You could be leaving a specific organization or institution or corporation. This area of life is also legacy, retirement, semi-retirement. It's tied to our sense of purpose. It's tied to passion. A passion could be changing for you. A passion that you had before you is being eclipsed out, perhaps, or you're taking a passion to a new level, or you are ending a way of being in career that wasn't healthy, like overwork. Capricorns can have a tendency toward overwork. I have Saturn in Capricorn. I know this one well. I actually have 2 planets and 1 point in Capricorn, so I know the energy well. A Capricorn energy works very hard. You work very hard. But this eclipse in Libra is saying, are you happy in your relationships? Are you feeling fulfilled in your interactions? Do you have mutually reciprocal give and take and support from others, Capricorn? Because that is one of the themes of this eclipse as well. And the Libra energy wants us to feel supported. It wants us to feel that there is a nice flow of give and take, that there is fun and joy and pleasure and simpatico in our relationships, whether they are in your career or otherwise. And when you have an eclipse on an angle of your chart, which the 10th house is, we can feel it other places. You can feel it in your home and family. You could be moving. A family member could be moving in or out. A partnership could be changing. You could be creating a new identity, birthing a new identity as a result of this eclipse. An old identity leaves, You have a vision for a new sense of self, a new status, a new role, a new purpose, perhaps. You are making room for whatever is coming next, a new chapter, to be more in alignment with who you are now, beautiful Capricorn. You've changed, you've evolved at the soul level. You are a new being now, a spiritual being having a human adventure. You are new again with this eclipse, and it is time for you to say yes to your beautiful heart. So, shuffling for you. Let's see what the cards have to say. Beautiful Capricorn, for you. Your card is experiencing life as it comes. This is the card of the drifter. Capricorn, if anyone does not want to drift, it would be you. You are so goal-oriented. You want to know where you're going. You want to know what the path is, what the plan is. Give me the plan. Well, guess what? This card is a 14, which reduces to a 5, which is the number of change. It's the number of often new adventure, but I don't know what the new adventure is. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I want. All I know is what I have now needs to shift or end or change. Start by changing a habit. Start by changing up your routine. Do something that you don't normally do. What do you miss doing that you haven't done in a long time? I hadn't been to the beach in a while, so recently I went to the Washington coast because that's where I'm living now, and it really infused me with new life. I took all kinds of photos. It was so creative for me, and it felt so good to have my feet in the sand, and it really put a new bounce in my step. So something that you haven't been doing for a while, or for some of you, you have to release and let go of what is feeling stagnant to you, or what feels claustrophobic to you or suffocating to you. I know those are dramatic words, but sometimes they fit. And whatever it is that feels like it might have you in chains, some of you, because Capricorns are hard workers, and they have a strong sense of duty and responsibility. And sometimes you can keep a responsibility for longer than you should because the contract has expired, the karma is complete. So you may need to do a deep dive inside of your heart to reconcile the truth. What is the truth for you, Capricorn? That will help you to feel like you're drifting less and you are going in the direction of your heart and your new dream, whatever that is. Leave me a comment. Let me know if this resonates. I'd love to hear. And Capricorn, also my book, The Magic of Saying Yes, will help you to connect with what your heart truly wants most now. The link to that is in the description box below. Sagittarius, Sagittarius, beautiful Sagittarius. Sag, you are having in this eclipse, this Libra solar eclipse, a brand new beginning. Something's eclipsed out. We're making space for something new, a new chapter for some of you. It is happening in your 11th house. And you are getting a sextile from this energy because Libra is air, you are fire. Libra's air sparks your flames and ignites your fire, Sag. So you are likely going to feel ignited during this eclipse. It's happening in your 11th house of hopes, wishes, and dreams. You could be saying goodbye to a dream or a former chapter where you were really excited about something, and that could be ending for you. A friendship could be ending. An affiliation with a group or an organization or a community could be unraveling for you. Something is leaving, a way of being in friendship, perhaps, a way of being in a group setting. That could be changing. Whatever it is, or it's a social media platform for some of you. For some of you, the 11th house is the world card in the tarot. It's where we're putting our message out into the world. Often it is an online platform or a social media messaging that you're using. Any of that could change for you. Any of that, you could be like, I am so done with being on Facebook, or I am so done, or I want to start a YouTube channel, or I want to get on TikTok. Like any of these things could be percolating in your mind during this time. What is important to know is that there is a new dream that you have, and this is the time to begin to know what you want to commit to and to begin to plant those seeds and go after it. Your goal is to feel fulfilled. This is the house of fulfillment. So what would fulfill you, beautiful Sag? That is the question. It is time to intend to feel fulfilled. Some people say don't do intentions during eclipses. An intention of how you want to feel is beautifully aligned with eclipse energy. You don't have to put an exact label on it. You can just say, this is a void in my life. This is something that I want to experience. Also, this is the house of long-term financial gains. So this could be a goal around money for you as well. A goal around friendship. To feel like you're part of a tribe, a soul tribe. This is a soul tribe house as well. So lots of juicy things in this house. Let's see what the cards have to say for you, beautiful Sag. Your card is the Will of the Wisp, treasures hidden in the shadows. So interesting. There's been so much blue energy coming up in the cards, which to me is the throat chakra. This is a very magical card. It is asking you to go inside. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Check out this image. This is such a gorgeous ethereal image. I am like blown away by this image. It's reminding me of like fairy energy, elemental energy, the will of the wisp, fairies being very wispy, elementally, very graceful and lyrical. Some of you may resonate with that, some of you may not. But look, this reminds me of like the magical person who shows up and speaks to you like in your dreams, like the wizard. To me, this is a very wizard-like card. And it is inviting you to clear your throat chakra. It is inviting you to get in touch with anything that you want to say, need to say, but aren't saying to another person, to yourself. There's a strong theme of integrity with this eclipse. I speak about this in part 1 of the video when I talk about the aspects. Mercury is a big player during this eclipse. And that, of course, is connected to our throat chakra. I'm having trouble putting a lot of words to this card because I'm kind of blown away by the magic of this image. So Sag, if you can relate to that, you tell me what you see. What I see is that you are having a divine meeting with a magical being in a dream state, a sleeping state, or in a guided visualization. And you are learning something. You are getting a message from this being about your power, about what needs clearing, about the truth of who you are, about the depth of your soul. There, those words came through. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear what you think. Treasures are hidden in the shadows. That is your healing ability, some of you. You have powers, superpowers, that you may not be aware of, beautiful Sag. And they are ready to be claimed during this eclipse. So if this resonates, or if you have other things you want to add, what you see in the card, let us know in the comments below. Scorpio, beautiful Scorpio. Scorpio, you are having the Libra solar eclipse in your 12th house of rest, retreat, the inner realms, the magical realms, the area in which we dive deep and find treasures underneath the surface of the conscious mind. There is something getting eclipsed out here for everyone, and for you, it could have to do with your subconscious programming. It could have to do with a disempowering narrative. This could have to do with self-sabotaging behaviors, which fit under the realm of the 12th house. An addiction for some of you, obsession for some of you, or just low vibrational thinking or stories about what you're capable of that aren't true. That could be getting eclipsed out, and wouldn't that be lovely? Of course, you being aware of it and deciding to cut ties to it, cutting ties to fears. This house is also foreign lands. So some of you could have a dream to go to a foreign land. You could be coming back from having traveled in a foreign land. Some of you are going to affirm a new identity. It's now possible for you to really expand your sense of who you are. This is also the house of karmic relationships, and many of us are healing, releasing, coming full circle with karmic ties and letting them go. You could also be healing from an illness. You could have felt really stuck emotionally, Scorpio, or mentally, and you could feel a real shift during this time, because this is us coming out of being submerged in water is how I feel it. We're coming out. We are opening the floodgates and moving through, or the gates, I should say. We're opening the gates into new possibilities and new, it just feels very like, open the gates, I'm coming through, I'm coming out. It feels like an I'm coming out kind of eclipse. You know that song, I'm coming out, I want the world to know, I got to let it show. I haven't sung that song in so long. That is such a perfect song for a North Node in Aries, which is where the North Node is, which is opposing this eclipse. And we are being really asked to come out with that Aries energy. But there's something that you are letting go of and releasing in the Libra area of your chart. Many of us are going to feel this in relationships, or you could feel it in the relationship with yourself. This is also the house of spiritual awakening, astral travel, lucid dreaming, any experience where you feel like, yeah, I am a spiritual being. I am not just this body. I am not just a human, where you feel those like superpowers that are the spiritual, what's the word? It's often an out of body experience, but, you know, a lot of different experiences fall here. Near-death experiences fall here. Not to say that any of you will go through something that serious at all, but pay attention to your dreams. You are probably already having a lot of deep dreams, Scorpio. This is a really good time to write down your dreams, or to speak them into your phone, or anything that will allow you to process them and get a sense of their meaning, because this is such a powerful time for that. And also a really great time to do some deep diving guided visualizations, meditations. I have those on my YouTube channel. In the description box below, a playlist for you. And also you can download one for free that you can listen to repeatedly when you sign up for my weekly updates, astrology updates on my website. So let's see what the cards have for you, Scorpio. Also, Venus will be in Scorpio. Watch the first half of this video if you haven't yet. Venus in Scorpio is a big player during this eclipse, and I love, love, love it. It's taking us into a deep dive of enhanced passion and deep romance for some of us, or deepening a romance. So, okay, let's see Scorpio for you. At the very least, I think we're going to be having some really important conversations with intimate partners. If you have an intimate partner or someone that you are just close to in your life. And your card is Me Talks, repairing the body, mind, and spirit. How perfect for a 12th house eclipse is this? A Me Talks. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. This is kind of amazing. There is so much going on in this card, you all. Oh my God, look at all the blue. There's been so much blue energy in a lot of these cards. That is water energy. We do have a grand trine in water during this eclipse. That has really come out in the cards. What I see in this card is a big bathtub, and this person getting a cosmic car wash isn't the right word. They're cosmically washing away, cleansing, detoxing the old. Wow, wow, wow. But it's a Me Talks, which is so 12th house, because it's like, what within me needs detoxifying? Oh my gosh, could there be anything more perfect for a 12th house transit? I love the synchronicities. So when you are cleansing yourself, metaphorically, physically, some of you, there is a bubble of magic that emerges. There is a connection with the divine, the purple, that comes through for you, that takes you into a whole new realm of being. And this yellow, this feathered friend, I think it's a bird or it's something that has feathers. To me, this represents new possibilities, new life, new vigor, new zest for life. So tell me, beautiful Scorpio, what do you see in this card? Because there is so much here and I would love to hear. your thoughts. Leave me a comment in the comments below if you would like to share. My beautiful friend, from the aspects that are going on during this eclipse, along with the cards that came up for each of the signs, I am blown away by the potency of this lunation. I cannot wait for it to happen. Thank you for joining me for this video. Thank you for being here in the Sunday chat. If you are here for the premiere, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to leave me a comment, to share with your friends who love astrology, and to subscribe to my channel, because when you do so, you ignite the algorithm and that sends this video out to more people who love astrology, and you really help support my work. If you would like to know how this eclipse and the other transits that are going on right now, we have a lot of really potent energy happening in the sky right now. If you would like to know during this turning point, life-changing for many of you time, what is going on? Oh my gosh, the sessions that I had last week during the lunar eclipse in Pisces, the client sessions have been off the charts powerful. Really, really, I'm just like, have been blown away by the connection that I've had with my clients and the insights that they have received during our time together. So if you would like to experience a real shift, go to my website, check out my options for astrology consultations. You can do Heart's Desire, Life Purpose, Natal Chart, Synastry, and more. And if you'd like coaching support, check out my coaching offerings as well. It's easy to book on my website, and I look forward to seeing you on Zoom. My free gift to you is a soothing guided meditation. It will connect you with your unconditionally loving spiritual guidance, the voice of your soul, your inner knowing. If you would like to receive that, just go to my website, sign up for free to my weekly inspirational astrology updates. You will get that instant download right away, and we will be connected. My beautiful friend, let me know in the comments below what you are feeling from this eclipse energy. I would love to hear. And until my next video, I am sending you all my love.